What's up, Headless? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down episode number 4 of The Power of Rings. Now, first off, I want to say that I did think that this episode was the weakest of the first 4, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we break this thing down. But literally, I feel like this episode was stuck in mud. Guys, don't forget, smash that like, subscribe if you're new, and think about joining the channel membership for only $2.99 a month. The next giveaway will be in October, and we're giving away the brand new Headless Ned Stark hat. You can see here it's a brand new design, and also it is a flex fit, so it's very comfortable. All right, guys, let's get to the breakdown. So we open up with Galadriel and Elrond getting ready to travel to Aragon. So Elrond needs Galadriel's help with organizing their troops. But you need to remember that a couple episodes ago, Galadriel was upset because Elrond had taken her place as leader, even though it was ordered by the High King Gil-galad. Elrond does tell her that he wants to make her second in command, which does soften, Galadriel up enough to agree to help out. As they set out, they find that their main path is blocked because the bridge has been destroyed by Sauron. One of the members of the group they're traveling with, his name is Kemnir, and he suggests that there's 2 other routes, one to the north, which would take longer, and there's another through the dangerous hills to the south. Galadriel warns that her magic ring is giving her a bad feeling about the southern route, and she thinks it's a trap. However, Elrond still insists that they take it anyway, and he actually ends up threatening her to send her back if she doesn't stop relying on the ring's guidance. Again, remember, he was not happy that these rings were made, and he was definitely not happy that she put one on. And again, we saw that all through episodes 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the Stranger. Remember the Stranger walking through the desert? Last time we saw him, he used some powers, and he ended up losing Nori and Poppy. So he's all alone at this point, looking for his friends. He follows a goat to a small settlement where a farmer lives. Now remember, the Stranger is searching for a constellation that he saw in his dreams back in season 1. And what he tries to do is he grabs a branch from a tree that resembles his dream, and the tree literally gobbles him up. Again, he is on a different type of journey than most of the other characters. He is trying to find out who he is and what his name is. We then head over to Nori and Poppy, who wake up completely lost in the desert. They end up meeting a boy named Merrimack, and he looks just like a Harfoot. He does confirm to them he is not one of them, and he agrees to take them back to his village where they can meet and talk to his leader, Gundabale Earthaller. So Gundabale is actually angry because Merrimack brought them back since they were being hunted. But she does listen to Nori explain that they were trying to help their wizard friend, the Stranger. Gundabale tells them that the only other wizard she knows in the area is known as the Dark Wizard. We met him back in episode 2. Meanwhile, the Stranger is still stuck in this tree, and we see the farmer kind of pull him out of it. It was really odd, to be honest with you. It looked so weird. I actually slowed it down, and to me, it looked strange. But he ends up telling him his name is Tom Bombadil. Now, if you don't know about Tom Bombadil, he is a huge presence in the books, and this is a character that actually is around in the Lord of the Rings timeline with Frodo and everybody, but he ended up not actually being in the movie. He is a magical figure with power over nature, which is why he was able to get the Stranger out of the tree. Tom warns the Stranger about the Dark Wizard's plan to team up with Sauron and destroy Middle-earth, and he tells the Stranger it's up to him to stop him. So again, this comes back to what I've been saying all along. I do believe that the Dark Wizard is going to end up being Saruman. But again, it's interesting because the lore states that Saruman and Gandalf, who I still believe is the Stranger, were actually friends before Saruman got turned with Sauron. So it's interesting. I don't know if they're changing lore, maybe I'm just completely off on who I think these characters are. I'm just going based on what I think and what I know about Lord of the Rings. You guys can let me know down in the comments. What are your theories on these two wizards? Back with Galadriel and Elrond, their group arrives at it's called the Barrow Downs. And this is an ancient burial site where they are attacked by some ghostly creatures called Barrow Wights. Now, this was a really good scene. This was probably my favorite part of the episode. It's very Lord of the Rings. Again, a big criticism of the show is that they're trying to do the same thing that was already done in the movies. Listen, I mean, it's the same world. Like it's like talking about Star Wars, and you have a different type of Sith, and just because it's similar, it doesn't mean that it's a copy right off the bat. The only thing that they could copy would be the personality. And obviously these guys are dead. And yes, it does remind me of the ring wraiths. Clearly, it reminds me of them. But I still thought it was a really cool scene. And just once again, I just thought it was shot beautifully. The show is always looking great. It definitely does not feel like a television series sometimes. It does look like this could be on the big screen. The biggest flaw, I think, so far through 4 episodes, it is maybe a little on the slow side, because I did think this episode didn't really move us too much forward. They fight off these creatures. They are unable to kill them at first. And what they end up doing is they find a sword, and they state that the only way to kill these creatures is to use the weapon that they were buried with. Then we hop on over to Isildur and Arondir, and they're still searching for Theo. And remember, he went missing after being captured by Wildmen. Again, I do believe it was the troll or the giant, whatever you want to call him. I think that's who actually took him. They go on to discover that these Wildmen were actually involved with a dangerous group led by a dog. Theo is eventually found safe among some other captured prisoners high up in a tree, and the tree is actually a giant creature like we saw in the movies, and this one is called Ent.
Even the fucking trees walked in those movies.
And Ent ends up helping them after he learns that they want to protect the forest. We then head back to Store Village, and Gandel actually tells them that they have to leave at sunrise. But a conversation about an old Store legend makes her think about the past and the wandering nature of their people. This whole part of the show, I just think it brings down the flow. Like, it's already, a slow burn, and to bring in more hobbits or harfoots or more cousins or ancestors, whatever you want to call them, I just feel like it slows everything down. And I understand this is totally in the book, but I just don't know if we really need more. Like, we just got rid of the harfoots, which I was really happy about, because it was like the worst part of season 1. I feel like they were only there to find the stranger. But I don't know. It's just, to me, it feels unnecessary. We'll see what happens. Again, I don't know because I haven't read the book, but we'll see what happens and see if they end up playing a larger part. He then goes on to say that the Dark Wizard scouts are also looking for Nuri and Poppy, which means that they are still in danger. We head back to Galadriel, and she has a vision that shows how dangerous Sauron's plans actually are. Like, they know Sauron is dangerous, but I don't think they realize how dangerous. So she sees this vision, and again, beautifully shot. She then makes Elrond a promise to focus on defeating Sauron, even if it means risking everything. As they move closer to Aragon, they discover a group of orcs. Galadriel then uses the magic from her ring to heal one of the injured members of the group. And this is just showing how powerful she is with that ring. I mean, she was powerful anyways, just because of her fighting ability. But the ring just now makes her much more powerful. And this really begins to worry Elrond about her growing connection to the ring. Galadriel then stays behind to fight the orcs and protect her friends. And then she actually gives the ring to Elrond, who absolutely did not want it. She basically puts it in his hand and leaves. And she gave it to him because she wants him to have it, because they were off to find Adar. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. Not a whole lot here, guys. again, my biggest issue with this episode is I feel like we were stuck in mud, literally. We also find out in the episode that Eastrid is found out. Remember in the last episode, she had burned her mark off, and Aroundir ends up seeing it. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that was going to happen. I thought it would be happening like further down in the season, literally the next episode. And so there were some relationship issues there between Isidore and her. It seems like they kind of work it out, though. She says, basically what you want to hear is that, she burned it off because she never belonged to them. And, I mean, basically those guys are forced to get that mark. We'll see what happens. I don't think she's really working for Adar and all that. The episode, it just wasn't as exciting. Like, I did like the fight in the forest. But again, I don't know how much we moved the plot forward here. And with it only being an 8-episode season, I don't know. We're halfway through it. We'll see what happens. Again, I know they have this thing planned for 5 seasons. I know the viewership is also down on the show. Listen, is it the best show ever made? No. It looks great. It's a slow burn. And I get it. Like, I get the criticism. I still enjoy it. Now I need something more. I need more action. I need something big to happen, and I need it to go just a little quicker. So we'll see what happens the second half of the season. Guys, let me know down in the comments. What did you think of episode 4? I am going to give this episode 2 Gandalfs out of 5.
You shall not pass! You shall not pass!
Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out of here. Keep those heads on. And I'll see you guys in the next video.